Namaste. In this extensive series of Rahu Mahadasha, this is the first part in which I have talked about certain happenings that you experience during Rahu Mahadasha. Rahu Mahadasha is always a very challenging period. Even though if you earn good money during Rahu Mahadasha, still you will suffer mentally. So this way or that way, suffering is for sure during Rahu Mahadasha. This is the very first part of this series, and in the following parts, I'll be sharing more about Rahu, black magic, certain mental sufferings, and so on. So let's begin. Many times people ask similar kind of questions that as soon as my Rahu Mahadasha has begun, I have started feeling as if everything is going against me or many things are happening in my life. I want to specifically mention that things have been happening from the very beginning of time. However, people start realizing that things are happening in Rahu Mahadasha because it is only when the thorn goes deep into your heart that you wake up. Always remember, the pain that Rahu Mahadasha brings is not to hurt you but to awaken you from a deep sleep, which is ignorance. This pain is not to make you sad, remember. That's where people go on missing. This pain of Rahu Mahadasha is just to make you more alert, because people become alert only when the arrow goes deep into their heart and wounds them. Things appear as happening because you start expecting too much when Rahu Mahadasha begins. Now you want everything as fast as possible. Your business is not running well. Now you cannot tolerate this anymore. You want some magic to happen, and then you start visiting many Babas and temples just so that you come across some Masiha who can use his magic and change your life for better. This is how foolish people become when Rahu Mahadasha begins. And then many become victims at the hands of fake Babas and fake monks. Now who is to blame? Not the Babas, but your impatience, your greed, your wants and your desires that make you run from one Baba to another Baba. And so I always say that Rahu Mahadasha is a perfect time of business for such fake Babas. That is their real time of business. A few days ago, a man had come. He was going through Rahu Mahadasha and he said, I am looking for some real Baba. Now this man was a great devotee of Sai Baba, and now he was looking for some real Baba. Now what kind of joke is this, my fellows? But this is how people make a joke of their life when Rahu Mahadasha begins. I said to him, why you want a real Baba when you already are blessed by Sai Baba? But the mind cannot understand. Rahu is the north node of the mind. Now this mind will make this man run all around the places in search of a real Baba. And chances are that he will be simply looted and cheated by the gang of fake Babas. Rahu simply makes your mind restless. Rahu can manifest in various forms, primarily in the form of black magic, illusions, in the form of notions, in the form of misunderstandings, in the form of wrong decision makings, in the form of cheating in relationship or being cheated in relationship, in the form of intense sexual desires, in the form of fraud or the act of doing fraud, imprisonment or major accidents during Rahu Mahadasha is also a strong possibility if the chart has certain negative placements. So many things happen during Rahu Mahadasha. It is not that they were not happening or they don't happen in other planets Mahadasha, but because your consciousness is directly shadowed by Rahu, that you find the happenings extremely heartbreaking and disappointing than otherwise. So, when the Rahu Mahadasha is going on, the events that happen in your life, because you become very sensitive, you tend to suffer more. And when it is a Rahu Mahadasha, for sure there is a high possibility that you will suffer more due to black magic spells. It is not that your enemy has never been targeting you using black magic spells, but now it will be easier for your enemy to target you because you are going through Rahu Mahadasha. And so many people suffer because of black magic spells during Rahu Mahadasha. In my next podcast, I am going to talk briefly on the Rahu Mahadasha and the impact of black magic spell. Enough for today. Jai Sri Ganesha. Jai Guru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.